Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for DavieVids. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, or full playthrough, tier list, ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for my top 10 favorite films of 1994 this time. Not the worst, so I could calm down a bit. Now, there's a lot of films to choose from because there's a lot of films this year I do like. And some of them I feel bad for not putting on the list. But let's get into it. Number 10, I'll put Pulp Fiction. I mean, kind of makes sense. I mean, it's Pulp Fiction. Very well directed by Quentin Tarantino. Great cast. Travolta, Samuel Jackson, Uma Thurman does a good job. Eric Stoltz does a good job. Ving Rhames, Bruce Willis. I just remember when I first saw the film, it was cool. The dialogue was snappy. A lot of crazy moments. The needle in the heart. The whole bits with Bruce Willis. Ving Rhames, bring out the gimp. Bruce Willis getting a fucking samurai sword and cutting fools. The whole speech that Sam Jackson gives. Ezekiel 25:17. And then I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When I first saw the film, it was taped. Like, okay, it was a tape. I thought it was an actual. Someone I knew had it. And I thought, it was an actual VHS, but for some reason, the third act was cut off. So I don't know if it was like a bootleg or they taped it and they forgot the ending or something, but up until Harvey Keitel says, okay, there's a guy in the car, got his brains blown out. Then it cuts. It wasn't until years later that I saw the finale of that scene and the whole ending of the movie in the diner and Sam Jackson talking to, I think, Tim Roth. I didn't see that till years later when I finally got the DVD. So, but great soundtrack from the opening. Just great style to it. And it did a lot. I mean, it definitely influenced a lot of people. You could say Reservoir Dogs did the same thing, but Pulp Fiction, I think, even more so. The way people wrote, the way people had characters dressed, and Pulp Fiction, just a very cool, entertaining film. Number 9, Dumb and Dumber. I still find the film very funny. I think Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels have excellent chemistry. I still laugh my ass off in quite a few moments of them being dumb but being sincere. Jim Carrey finding out that we landed on the moon. Like, that was pretty funny. These guys killed their pet bird, but they think its head fell off. Yeah, he's pretty old. God, it's been a while since I've seen it. Doesn't Jim Carrey mention they go to Aspen, and then Jeff go, I don't know, Lord, the French are assholes. It just, the stuff, like, the writing was a lot better compared to Dumb and Dumber 2, where they don't really go for that kind of writing and humor of being sincerely dumb, but they mean well. It's just more of a pushing gross out gags and pushing, like, the characters seemed like nastier. It just felt more, I don't want to say hateful, but more, I don't know how to put it. Just left a bad taste in my mouth for various reasons. But in Dumb and Dumber 1, you actually care for the characters. And sometimes they say things they're not supposed to, but you buy the fact that they're just too dumb to notice. I mean, the whole ending where there's these hot women and Jeff, the idea is that these hot women want to be with these two guys, and Jeff's like, you gotta go 10 miles that way. And then Jim Terry, are you out of your mind? Wait, wait. I'm sorry, he's a little slow. It's actually bad that way. Two guys gonna be really lucky when they join those two ladies. And that was like, that scene kind of signifies what kind of characters they are. That they're dumb, but they're definitely made for each other. I don't know, Dumb and Dumber 2, it just... I can't think of the term. I'm thinking... mean-spirited. That's what I'm thinking of. The sequel just felt more mean-spirited. This did not. Now, do I love everything? No, I don't like the whole diarrhea scene. I never liked it. I know that's a lot of people, some people's favorite scene. Never liked it. Never cared for it. I just fast forward it. It's not my kind of humor. But a lot of the rest of the movie, I mean, the very beginning, when the girl says Austria, so Jim thinks it's Australia. Just have another shrimp on the barbie. And that was such a great... I mean, this is a hell of a year for Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which is higher on the list. The Mask. And this movie. All big hits. He was the toast of the town after that. So, but Dumb and Dumber, still a fun film. Number 8. Now, there's a bit of a caveat about this. I put In the Mouth of Madness, but there are places that say 1994, and there are places that say 1995. The reason being is it was in a festival in 1994. So I think IMDb and other places will call it a 1994 film. But in the US and other places, it went into theaters in February 1995. So then I'm like, okay, is this a 1994 film or is this a 1995 film? If this is considered a 1995 film, then Dumb and Dumber would be 8, Pulp Fiction would be 9, and then number 10 I'd probably put... It'd be between Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Airheads, In the Army Now, which I do quite like, that movie. It'd be one of those. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I know people hate it nowadays. I always enjoyed the film. I think it's a very inventive idea. I love how inventive that idea is. Coming to the real world, I think Heather Langenkamp did a great job. Some people knock her performance. I don't really get it. There's some iffy special effects with the... I don't know what you call them. Was it matte paint? Like when she falls and there's like that weird waterfall thing. That looked pretty sketchy, effects-wise. It does not have the most inventive death scenes. I mean, one is a redo of the scene in the first film with Tina. One in the truck. It felt like I know this doesn't make sense, but it felt like a lesser version of the death scene in Elm Street 5. Only Danny turned to a motorcycle. Here it's just a guy being fucked around when he's driving. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of death scenes in it. And like that could be disappointing. But I like the story. I like seeing John Saxon. I like Wes Craven playing himself. And I think there's a lot of cool ideas. I like the Hansel and Gretel motif. The breadcrumbs. It was a very imaginative sequel. I quite like it. Airheads is fun and underrated. I probably put In the Army Now, because In the Army Now is just, no one talks about it. It's not on Blu-ray, but it's my favorite Pauly Shore film. I like the stuff he does with, between him and Andy Dick, Lori Petty, David Alan Grier. I like that cast. Yes, it's a lesser version of Stripes, but I still enjoy In the Army now. I think it's a fun comedy. Water boys. I still remember the opening when they're playing the video game. We're giving them away. See, I just remember these vague references and moments that because I watched the film quite a bit when I was a kid, so I'll probably put that in it. But anyway, if In the Mouth of Madness is considered 94, then it would be number 8 because I remember being really intrigued by it when I saw it on VHS, and I thought it was such a cool idea. Ultimately, what would happen if you found out you were living in a book? This author was able to kind of create his own world in very H.P. Lovecraft style. What if, like, you found out you were a fictional character in a book? Like, when the world turns blue. And like I said, I'm not really usually into nihilistic, depressing movies, but that one, like, John Carpenter knows how to film it. Sam Neill does a wonderful job. It definitely has a nice atmosphere to the proceedings. From the very beginning, the insane asylum, to throughout, like, all these weird things, like the Julie Carmen seeing the kid on the road with the bicycle, and things like seem to keep repeating, and that old lady that you find out has her husband in chains at his feet, and she's this creature that axes him to death, and that bit where you see little snippets of the creatures, very H.P. Lovecraft style, and that Cam Beats did some of the effects on it. Jurgen Prochnow, Sutter Kane, ripping his face, and it becomes like a page in a book. Like, some really cool, unique stuff in that film. And I would say that's definitely one of John Carpenter's more underrated movies. So I always quite liked In the Mouth of Madness. But again, when I saw it, it was on VHS tape, and that would have been probably later 95. It came out in the U.S. and places in 95, but a lot of places say 94, so that's why I wasn't sure where to put this. Is it 90? I hate when they do that. It's in one fucking festival in 1 year, so that means it came out there. Well, nobody else was able to fucking see it. I don't know. I hate when they do that shit. But anyway. Number 7, Men of War with Dolph Lundgren. Sally. It seemed like a film that was supposed to go in theaters, but they didn't think Dolph Lundgren was box office material. And Sally, I get their point in the fact of I Come in Peace is an awesome movie, but it bombed. Showdown in Little Tokyo was an awesome movie, but it was barely released by Warner Brothers after it cut a lot of footage. That's why the movie's like an hour and, 17 minutes or so. And it bombed. So Dolph had been a part of movies he starred and they didn't do well, even though they were really good films. So of course this film, it was probably in theaters, some places overseas, but here it was just dumped straight to video. Which is a shame, because this is one of his better films. Men of War is kind of like, if you take the star power out of it, the plot was kind of the Expendables before the Expendables, where it's a group of mercenaries go in on a job. Although, I mean, that's a lot of movies. Not just Expendables. That's a lot of movies. But they kind of find out that there's this island, and the people are supposed to be kicked out, but they don't want to leave their land. They're supposed to sign this deal. They don't want to. Some of them get to know the locals and care for the locals, and then you realize that the people just want literally the bird shit because it's minerals that are in it because of the species, and they want it for monetary reasons. And even Dolph's like, you want me to kill people for bird shit? You've done it for less. So it's a guy kind of realizing that he's in a shit business, and you know what, this isn't the right thing to do, and I'm going to do something right for once. So the team gets split. On one side, you have Tiny Lister Jr. and others going off with the bad guys. Dolph Lundgren and some others, they stick to protect the inhabitants of the island. And by the second half, this big war breaks out. I mean, you got Dolph Lundgren with the rocket launcher shooting and killing bad guys. There's a bit where he shoots and the back of it burns the guy behind him, and he's like, "Don't sneak up on people." He fights Kano from the '90s Mortal Kombat film. I always forget his name. It's Trevor Goddard. I always forget his name because I'm bad with names. Rest in peace to him. But they're like in this underground area. Welcome to hell. And they get in the cool fist fight. I like that Dolph grabs his, like, it's an axe, but he realizes too late it's so brittle it crumbles, and the way he's like, fuck, and he gets hit. Like, there's a lot of moments that, and it's a very well filmed movie. Like, it's filmed like it's a theatrical production. Like, you could tell it's well, this had a budget behind it with the cinematography. It's a good looking film. The action scenes are practical and very solid. I know the advertising says written by John Sayles, but I don't know how many times it was rewritten. But at one point, John Sayles had written the script. I don't know if that's the final script. But yeah, that Men of War is a very underrated action film. I think one of Dolph Lundgren's best, honestly. Number 6, I put True Lies, because it's True Lies. It's Arnold, one of his best. I love True Lies. Tom Arnold is even funny in it. I like Jamie Lee Curtis in it. James Cameron is the last great film he did. The action scenes are stellar, very stellar. The fighter jet stuff, it blowing up the bridge, him in the fighter jet blowing up and shooting all the terrorists on the floor of that building. The bit where he takes the hose and the thing and makes it like a flamethrower and it dives, and you see Arnold swimming with the flames going over on top of him. James Cameron knew how to direct action scenes back then. Technically, an excellent film. And it's a funny movie, too. Arnold thinking his wife's cheating on him when that's not the case. Bill Paxton as pretend to be a spy. They get nookie, but then realize he's full of shit. He's a used car salesman. Bill Paxton is a lot of fun. And Tom Arnold is great, too. He works very well with Arnold. Oh, I love this guy. But we still gotta kill him. Yeah, I know. We still gotta. I mean, I know if you haven't seen these films, sometimes they'll say these random lines like, what the fuck is that? But that's why you should see these films to get the reference. But True Lies, pretty much if Arnold and James Cameron did a James Bond movie. And it was stellar. It was fun. I'm not going to say it's the last great Arnold film because I still really liked Eraser. I love End of Days. I like Collateral Damage and some others. But it's definitely the last great James Cameron film in my eyes. And Arnold had done Last Action Hero, which I love, but it didn't do well. So this definitely got Arnold back on the horse for the box office. Although sometime not too long later, like Jingle All the Way would not do the best. End of Days didn't do well. I'm on another film, so Batman and Robin. So, but yeah, True Lies still works very well. Number 5, Shawshank Redemption. Beautiful film. Well acted. Greatly told story about a guy, Tim Robbins, holding out for hope in prison. Innocent man thrust into there. Just so well directed, well told. Just a lot of stuff for that film. Morgan Freeman, beautiful score. It really gives you the feels. I don't watch all the time because it is a pretty lengthy film, but it always gives a great just sense of filmmaking, The Shawshank Redemption. And in my eyes, that should have won the Best Picture. I like Forrest Gump. It's down the list, but I like Forrest Gump. I think a lot of people would say Pulp Fiction should have won, which I could see that. For me, though, The Shawshank Redemption should have won for Best Picture. just the rash of emotions you feel with that, especially by the end when the friends get to see each other again and they're across on the beach and one is working on the boat and the music, and it just gives such a hopeful vibe and feel that you can't help but tear up and smile a bit just at the thought of the ending. So hope is a powerful thing. It truly is. And that film makes you believe in that. So that was really nice. Number 4, Timecop. Sally, Stream Factory dropped the ball, released the 4K with nothing on it, so I will not buy that 4K. Just why there's nothing on it. Like, why is it that Timecop, Van Damme's biggest hit, has jack shit for features? I don't understand that at all. Why would Van Damme not want to talk about Timecop? Why would Peter Hyams... I mean, he talked about fucking... what was the one... was this Stream Factory releasing one of his? What the fuck was it? Like, I think he did an interview for Outland. That's with Arrow Video, and I think there was another one. End of Days. Yeah, End of Days from Stream Factory. I think he sits down for an interview. So if he does further, why not Timecop? I don't understand that. It's just I don't get it. But yeah, I've always enjoyed Timecop. I thought it was a cool premise. Never read the comic book. Big Van Damme fan. I like the idea that, you know, his wife died, and even though he's a cop trying to stop people, there's this... He would love to go back and save his wife, but he knows he's not allowed to do that. So it's just kind of that thing where it gives him a bit of motivation of, if I can't go back to save my life, I'm not going to let this son of a bitch go back to steal money. I love Bruce Medill, plays his boss. His boss is very fun, has a lot of fun banter between him and Van Damme. Van Damme, still good in the action sequences early on when he goes back in time and he's kicking and punching people and doing the splits. Kicking the guy's ass with the 2 sticks. When the one guy assaults him in the apartment, multiple of them actually. There's that great scene where he does the splits while the guy tries to electrocute him and instead electrocutes himself. It's not wall-to-wall action, but when it's there, it's fun. There's the guy who gets his side frozen, and Van Damme kicks it and half his body breaks off. Granted, the CGI isn't the greatest, but I like the idea behind it. Ron Silver, great character actor. Always nice to see Ron Silver in a film, whether it be in this one, Blue Steel, Deadly Outbreak with Jeff Speakman. Ron Silver, great character actor. And Peter Hyams is, to me, one of the more underrated directors. 2010, the year we made contact. Stay Tuned with John Ritter. The Relic. End of Days. Narrow Margin. Timecop, of course. I mean, I like so many of his films are great. Yeah, if you look at, time travel is not a real thing. So you say maybe something should be wishy-washy with that. But overall, to me, it's still a damn good... I wish that would have become Van Damme's franchise. Like Stallone had Rocky and Rambo. Arnold had the Terminator. That could have been it, but... Sadly, Edo drugs and a number of bombs. Sudden Death was a bomb. The Quest was a bomb. His ego was that getting lesser. He wanted more money, which I want the money Jim Carrey's getting. I'm like, but your movies are not. Your movies are nowhere making the amount of money Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's his film could make as much in the U.S. as yours. A Jim Carrey film will make more money in the U.S. than your film did worldwide. So there's no reason why you should get the same amount of payola. But Van Damme realizes this nowadays, and he knows he fucked up, but it's too little too late. But yeah, there was a Timecop 2, which is not an awful film with Jason Scott Lee. I don't mind it, but I wish we could have done an actual Timecop 2 with Van Damme. I think that would have been really cool to see. because I think it's a cool premise. I never saw the TV show, was never interested in it, but Timecop's a lot of fun. Number 3, Ace Ventura Pet Detective. That's a film I watched so many times when I was a kid. So many scenes committed into memory. From him being the delivery guy, kicked in the box down, we're going downtown, to being chased by these Randall Tex Cobb. Warning, assholes are closer than they appear. Tim, you give me a push back there, pal? Alrighty then. The catchphrases, the one-liners, the energy, like Jim Carrey just went for it. Pretty much realizing I may never get another shot, so I've got to put boots to the ground and be on all energetic cylinders for this character. And he did. Some find him annoying. I thought he was absolutely insanely funny. Like Ace Ventura Pet Detective is my favorite Jim Carrey film. I like a lot of his films. The Truman Show, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. I like The Cable Guy. I like Dumb and Dumber, of course. I mentioned Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. But this was always my favorite. I love it. I know you get canceled for doing this whole subplot nowadays, but I love the Finkel as Einhorn and using the Crying Game music. I think that's hilarious. Now it'd be looked as transphobic, or whatever the fuck it would be. It's a joke, that's what it is. At least it's a funny one. Just a lot of stuff that's still funny. Now let's see that. And what would they say? In slow motion or in rewind? He's going back and he's like talking backwards and going in slow motion. And some of the way it was shot, like the whole bit where you find, like, I like the plot of the movie, the fact that it's about this animal was kidnapped, and then you find out it's this weird, twisted person who was a football player that blames Dan Marino because of this kicked her around the world that went wrong and can't take the blame himself. And that whole thing where Ace is in the room with all the stuff of Dan Marino and very creepy place and playing the projector and it's no good, the Dolphins lose, and the way it's edited and the music's rising up, I'm like, that's actually a pretty artistic scene there. Coney Cox, I thought her and Jim Carrey worked well together. I have exorcised the demons. This house is clean. Loser, loser. Very quotable, very fun film. I can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power. And yeah, I'm saying these random, because I remember seeing this so many times when I was a kid on VHS. A kid, because this came out in 94. I probably saw the VHS probably 95, so yeah, if that's the case. Or late 94. It might come out on VHS late 94. Because it did come out early 94, so it might have been out on VHS by the time The Mask, or at least Dumb and Dumber came out, so it might have been 94 I first saw it. Which I would have been like, I don't know, 11 years old or something, so there you go. Number 2, Clerks. I mean, one more can I say about Clerks? One of the funniest movies I've seen, to be Kevin Smith's best film. It's raw, the dialogue is crisp and funny, and such a simple premise, but to be relatable for a lot of people. Just because they serve you doesn't mean they like you. I thought Dante and Rando were such great characters. Those characters worked so well together, in sync with each other. I think the black and white and the rawness actually helps the film and the vibe of the film. And the dialogue is just so funny, and I'm not even supposed to be here. My girlfriend saw 37 dicks in a row. I just still laugh at that stuff and the timing and just, you know, Jason Mewes before he fucked up his mouth and now he tried to talk like this. When Jason Mewes sounded more like Jason Mewes, which I mean, he's in a better place in terms of his mindset and he's off the drugs and stuff, which is nice, but I wish he didn't fuck up his teeth so he kind of sounds like this, you know. I'm not making fun of it, just like, it's noticeable. It's distracting, to me at least. So I miss the Jason Mewes from Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, like that Jason Mewes. I mean, he's better health-wise and mind-wise, just, again, anyway. Sadly, he was funnier back then. But you gotta account for the way his character's been written, too. Or his parts have been written, because Kevin Smith has written most of them. But I'm talking about most of the movies Jason Mewes has been in since. But yeah, I've worked retail, and there's some stuff that's very relatable, like the customers that ask dumb questions. And sometimes you do feel like Randall, and he works at the video store. And just how raw and brutal some of the dialogue is, it was refreshing. And this is like a guy who knew what he was doing writing-wise, and it's so depressing when you see where he's at nowadays. But I love Clerks, so funny. And number one, Speed. I have the idea of the Speed. To me, it's such a ferociously energetic film, Speed. I love the structure. We have like 3 big set pieces. You have the elevator at the beginning, you have the whole middle of the bus, and then you have the subway train at the end. And all very well staged set pieces. Keanu Reeves worked well. Sandra Bullock, love Sandra Bullock. Jeff Daniels, Dennis Hopper is a great villain. The store really gets your blood pumping. Yonda Bond really proved himself in the director's chair. He really wanted to say, hey, I can hang with you guys, and he does. The use of the way the action scenes are set up, and the bus turn the corners, and the close calls, and hitting the one car, and the car is pushed up. When Keanu Reeves has to get on the bus, and he's got to break the car door and jump over. So many exciting parts to that movie. Dennis Hopper's a lot of fun as the bad guy. Sandra Bullock, she's charming and sweet, and not a pushover, but not wooden. Far from it. I'm smarter than you. Oh yeah, well I'm taller. I could watch Speed right now and still get a kick out of it. Still have a lot of fun. Even Joe Morton. He has my favorite line reading when they find out that part of the bridge, the road is gone. It's on the goddamn map. I guess they got behind. Well, you're fired. Everybody's fucking fired. That always traps me up. You fired, everybody's fucking fired. And it's a cool premise, like such an original, unique, cool premise. The type of premise that you go, man, why didn't someone think of this before? What if there was a bus, was it 50, 55 miles per hour? Once it goes up there, the bomb is armed. If it goes below, it blows up. But yeah, what a cool premise, and to be able to pull it off, and not come off as cheap or hokey. Is it the most realistic film? No. Yes, the bit where the famous bus jump would never work because, you know, unless there's a big fucking ramp. I get it. The bus would never be able to make that jump. If this is the jump, if this is the bus and this is the other side, it would get to here and then go woo. But it's a movie. It's escapism. The movie did such a good job suspending my disbelief for so much of the film that even with that I can let it go, and it's an exciting moment. That's part of escapism. And every movie you can look at, pick it apart as something that's not realistic. But if it's entertaining and it gives you that thrill, you're able to let it go. And it doesn't enough of that to really hold its own. And it was a surprise hit. No one expected the movie to be that big of a hit, but it did, and sadly we got that shitty sequel. But loved the first Speed film. Which actually I just got the 4K right there. Right here, actually. There we go. Got the 4K, the Blu-ray, the whole damn thing. So, yeah. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Movies anywhere. I mean, I don't even know if they do that anymore. But yeah, anyway. It says Ultimate Collector's Edition, although there's nothing new on it. So, I don't know why this film has never gotten like newer special features. These features are from back in the day when you had that 2-disc DVD. Was it the 5-star? Like the first 3 Die Hards were the same bits. I forget what it was called. 5-star? It was like 2-disc DVD. Like, why are there no new features for this film? I don't understand it. There should have been like a documentary on this film. Like a new, brand spanking new documentary. Especially when the anniversary passed, which was 94, so that was last year. You know. Hey, what can you do? It's trying to search Fox, and who owns Fox now? Dipshit Disney. So there you go. I'm curious. Does this say? I was seeing if this still says 20th Century. Fuck, I can't. 20th Century Studios. So yeah, it doesn't say Fox. Yeah, it just says, it does say, wow, okay, I didn't even notice that. So yeah, it does not say 20th Century Fox, it's 20th Century Studios. Okay. Didn't fucking notice that till now. So there we go. But yeah. With that said, that's my list. A lot of good movies this year. A lot of great movies. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.